Today's math is wisdom, understanding, all being born to power refinement. Now, your wisdom is your wise words, okay? When you use your wise words, you bring forth an understanding in those that you speak to, okay? Now, understanding is the best part because it is the culmination of knowledge and wisdom, of knowing and speaking. Now, you put those together and you have power refinement. So when I speak and make you understand, you are now able to go and use your power, speak your truth, okay, to refine and cleanse others. So wisdom, understanding, all being born to power refinement is today's mathematics. Okay, we back.
Yep.
Another week.
Another one.
Digga Digga.
Yeah, got my shoulders out
You
today.
got your shoulders out today. With your,
Yanadameen crew neck on.
Yanadameen female.
Was it the cut off crew neck?
I don't know what it is, but I like it. I think you're going to get some nasty comments, and I mean in a good way, after wearing that one right there. You got your shoulders out.
20-second honey bun.
Okay. So, yeah, real quick. How was your week?
My week was fantastic. I went to an awesome party.
Did you?
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
I got to see some of my favorite rappers. I got to see their backstory.
Really?
Yeah, man. It was you.
Oh,
it was
shit.
You guys. Yes.
That would be the brand Nubian UNSUNG party at
5 Spot.
5 Spot.
Oh,
in
that
BK.
guy. And by the way, if you haven't been, a must eat.
Oh, some people might have a problem with fried foods, but their fried foods there.
They make the best fried food
quite
ever.
Delicious.
The best fried calamari, fried shrimp, chick ever.
Well, I don't fuck with the shrimp and all that.
I know that
let the record reflect.
We know,
but,
we know.
Yeah,
the best goddamn fried.
They jerk chicken was on. They jerk chicken was on, and I'm a jerk chicken connoisseur.
Best fried sea roaches ever.
I don't fuck with the sea roaches. But yeah, it was a dope event.
Great story, by the way.
Well, thank you. People definitely seem to enjoy this particular unsung. And it was an honor. Shout out to everybody that came and spoke on our behalf, okay, in the unsung. My brother, Reality, the God Jah Will, C Knowledge from Diggable Planets, fucking Drew Dixon, Dante Ross, fucking Sway.
I would have spoke for you. I'm like, even though I was a teeny tiny kid.
Listen, if they would have did, so much has happened since that was out. You see what I'm saying? Like I move fast out here. So it's like the fact that we have the Yanadameen Godcast.
I just went over your head. I was teasing you. You're old.
No.
I was so little when brand Nubians.
You would have been interviewed because you're part of what I'm doing right now.
Absolutely.
You see what I'm saying? So they would have got you for right now, but when we did that, I didn't even have this Godcast. I didn't have the brand Nubian gear or the Yanadameen Godcast gear. Or now we are unleashing the Rah Digga line.
Yes, Rah Digga got some gear coming.
Oh, Rah Digga got some gear coming.
This ain't no little kid rap gear.
What? Matter of fact.
Lyrics matter gear.
Okay? We not fucking playing out here.
We gonna be cute this summer, ladies.
We not playing out here, okay? And yeah, we'll have hoodies for the fellas too if you want to support the sister, okay?
No, but seriously, all jokes aside, like outside of you being in my face right now and being my Godcast partner, like I said, in my story, like a big part of me kind of tuning into hip hop music was because of recognizing the samples from the music that my parents played. And one of the artists that they played to death was Roy Ayers. So I actually honed into you guys immediately with the Sunshine sample. So that you really did become like one of my pivotal hip hop groups, mainly for that sample, but
Right.
It was at that moment.
That was the entree to it.
Right, that like I really
that
started.
brought you there.
Yeah, like I absolutely started tuning into you guys, and I put you in that space with Public Enemy and those, you know, those
and that's
guys.
and
So
that's like
you just need to know that.
That's an honor. Why, thank you.
Giving you your flowers while you here.
Why, thank you. I mean, that's an honor, and that was part of the intention, really. Like, you know, like I came up looking up to all the greats of hip hop, but you know, once I got knowledge, it was like the rappers and shit that displayed knowledge, you know what I mean, within their music. Those are the ones that I really wanted to be like, and I wanted to emulate. I wanted to be like a Rakim and the Public Enemy, and you know, but you got to find, at that time, you couldn't just say, all right, I'm going to take Public Enemy's formula and now I'm going to fucking have you know, the S2Ws. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, you couldn't do that fucking
the
shit.
S2Xs.
Yeah, like, you couldn't do that fucking shit back then. Like you have to figure it out. Like, damn, I want that energy in my shit, but how do I make it mine? And how do I put my own shit into it? You see what I'm saying?
So we can do that now. I could just come out with some T2Xs and just
absolutely. Like, you could be, you know, Nicki Trainage or whatever. I don't know, like whatever the fuck the next level of a menage is. You can be that if you want to these days. Like, you know, because these motherfuckers don't give a fuck. Like, look at Designer. Like, he came out specifically trying to be a fake Future. And almost got away with it.
And for 2 seconds,
almost got away with it.
For 2 seconds, I was trying to give him a benefit of a doubt, and then I always try to give artists the benefit of a doubt. Like, I don't want to hate. No. I don't want to hate them. Like,
I don't want to hate them either, but I'm not gonna just give them the benefit of the doubt.
No, for 2 seconds, I'll give him a 1 second benefit of a doubt. But then he started the song with the "I get broads in Atlanta." Like, oh, you just all up in Future set.
And you from Brooklyn.
You just in Atlanta with it. Oh, all right, never mind.
He'd have been better off saying, "I get broads in Atlantic Terminal" or some shit. You understand?
In Brooklyn, in
exactly,
BK.
Exactly. Come on, man. Oh, well, speaking of some of these young rappers and
oh, wait, I'm sorry. Before you start, I do have to make a correction, because last week we were talking about TV One and its existence. It is actually not under the BET umbrella.
Correct.
It was the answer to BET. It's under Radio One.
Actually, I heard it's a sister, Cynthia Holmes or something.
Radio One, which I think is now Urban One.
Well, it's definitely black owned.
Yes, it's black owned, and they were the answer to BET. They are not under BET, so correction.
Thank you, TV One, for being an answer to BET.
Shouts out to TV One
and
for
creating beautiful shows like Unsung, because they're needed. And I heard,
like, for my man.
Okay, that's a good fucking show.
Great show.
Somebody was in the comments talking about, you know, these groups they say they're unsung, but they're really not unsung. Like, people are talk about them in hip hop history. Like, hold up. Like, yeah, people talk about Brand Nubian in hip hop history, but let's not get it twisted. We never went gold. We never went platinum. We never win any fucking award or anything like that. So I think that's what they mean by unsung. Now, are we sung amongst, you know, our peers?
We're celebrated amongst
our peers, but amongst the mainstream, we're unsung.
And it's
so
actually,
that's why things like this come about.
Right.
I mean, of course, a lot of the groups that are unsung to a certain demographic, absolutely they're sung. But to the basic mainstream, you know, we ain't never win no Grammy or nothing. Right. You know what I mean? Like, nothing. We got 5 mics in the source. You understand what I'm saying?
And that's
at a time when that meant something. Mm-hmm. Okay. But, you know, as far as being truly sung, what are we looking time wise? As far as being sung, we were unsung. So this is definitely, you know, I feel well deserved.
Right.
You know, and damn near every unsung I've seen, I feel like it has been deserved.
And I think it's really great they're doing that. I think in the beginning when we first started seeing unsungs and a lot of artists were getting approached, I think there was a little bit of reservation, like, wait, does this mean like it's over for us? Like, are we like official old heads now? But now it's almost like if you don't have an unsung, you're
not official.
Yeah. Who are you if you don't have an unsung?
When I first started seeing them, they were really old school groups.
Right.
Like, really, it was from the 50s, 60s, and shit like that. And when they started bringing them into more contemporary times, I said, oh, that's kind of cool, actually, you know? And that's when you start to thinking, oh, gee, I wonder if they would ever do one on me. Right. You know what I mean? Like, shit, I think we can fall into this kind of category. And, yeah, it's definitely an honor. And people have, you know, taken positively to the episode. And, yeah, you know, so shout out, good looking.
Word.
So real quick, this week there was an interview on Vlad TV and Lil Yachty, basically addressed to me. Vlad asked him about me, and you know, at one point he expressed on two different occasions, two different media outlets, that he would like to talk to me because he thinks I'm hating on him. I went on Vlad and said, hey, I'd love to talk to you, young man. You know, you seem like you can use a mentor out this motherfucker, and I'm available for hire. When's
the diss track coming? So you gonna have a diss track? You got
no.
I'm just fucking with you.
No diss tracks. I'm just like, the young man thinks that I hate him or something like that, or I have a problem with him, and you know,
I think it's dope that he
mentioning my age. You know, I don't know why somebody so old, you know, of that age would you know, hate on me or nothing like that. Listen, I try to explain it's not about hatred.
Right.
I don't hate you, young man. I don't know you. Okay? But what I do know is this hip hop shit.
That's right.
Okay? And I have my view based on the knowledge I've accumulated over time dealing with this hip hop shit. I think I have a good sense for what's considered good in hip hop and what's considered bad or whack in hip hop.
I concur.
Now, you got new school motherfuckers trying to remix the rules, remix the criteria, and I'm not going for it. That's all.
Well said. You actually kind of something I wanted to address too in the comments I saw. By the way, when I made the comment about the OGs dropping the ball, y'all do realize I was speaking rhetorically because in real life I don't think we dropped the ball. What I think happened was there came a point, I'm gonna say circa 2003, 2004, all of the major labels started consolidating, and the first departments that were axed from labels were the black music departments. So a lot of our peers were released from our major label deal situations. So moving forward, a lot of us were still finding our footing going independent. But now if we want to talk about who let the train run amok, let's talk about some of these media outlets and these radio personalities that are practically our age, reinforcing the narrative of out with the old and in with the new. And anytime any one of us voices our opinions, they are the first ones to say, oh, this one washed up, this one bitter, this one hating, where your new album, you know. They started that whole narrative. And if you say that so many times, the new artists coming up are taking that in. So now they feel like they don't have to respect us. That is learned behavior from the media and people of that nature. So no, we didn't just go quietly in the night and let hip hop run amok. No, we were, you know, partially edged out. And the ones that continue to speak out and do continue to speak out, it's almost like we're at war with media about, you know, voicing our opinions. So, no, we did not drop the ball.
Well, and
to a degree.
I think also what you have to take into account though is that part of dropping the ball was that we weren't here. Like a lot of us as black males, the ones that would have carried the ball and passed the ball on to the next generation, got murdered, got sent to jail. You know what I mean? You got motherfuckers out here that's getting turned out now and want to be he-she's and all this other shit. So who's going to carry the ball? You see, like a lot of these men that I feel would have carried on a certain hip-hop tradition weren't there. You know, and if we keep it real, a lot of sisters, they like hip-hop but more in a passive way, not as aggressively like you. They'd rather just turn on Hot 97 and whatever Hot 97 gives them, well, that's what the fuck I'm going to listen to. And that's what goes to the media point of what you're speaking to.
And then when you turn on Hot 97,
they're
what
playing
do you hear?
some fucking
like,
bullshit.
You know, like case in point, when the whole, you know, even with the whole like Kim and Nicki Minaj situation, I felt like every single radio personality was like, oh, get your old ass out. Like, I feel like they... You know, they kind of stirred that pot and really,
definitely.
You know, so it's like
it's divide and conquer,
right? So how do we as OGs and veterans and pioneers of the game, you know, how do we successfully pass that message on when there's so many obstacles? And also, I will say this: a lot of us are still partially. Not all of us, but a lot of us, you know, there's still kind of that competition because, like, we're just not getting old. Like, we're getting in our 40s and 50s, and we're still dropping albums.
Some of us are getting better with age, like fine wine.
A lot of us are getting better with age, you know. A lot of us,
but some of us are getting worse.
Yeah. Oh,
some of us are spoiled.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I will not.
Fast.
Look, I will not argue with that. But you know, I think there are some of us who probably were not ready to pass the torch the way, you know, the way the previous generation did to us. Like, we like, hold on. New mixtape coming, new album coming, hold up.
Don't fucking count me out.
We're not ready for the Lils yet. But, I mean, I think there was a whole culmination of things, but I think if we did do anything, we did try to keep the rules, you know, as is. And I feel like there were just a lot of things out of our hands, whether it be, you know, not having that mainstream, you know, focus anymore, or that, you know, the media outlet or the young journalists that grew up with us, you know, the people that were doing our stories. It's like now there's a whole wave of 20-something-year-old journalists. You ever notice, like, every time you do an interview now, it's like they're asking you questions based on some shit from Wikipedia or what they Googled. It's
right.
They really, like, if we do an interview right now with a XXL or a Vibe or so, it's like they don't have a clue who we are. So it's really like a different time. And, you know, be thankful that there are people like us that do care enough about the culture that's to still, you know.
Well, I was just gonna say, like, you know, we are now using. See, you sometimes have to use the tools that they use for evil. You have to use for good. Okay, so they're using media to try to fuck shit up and brainwash motherfuckers with some bullshit. Well, we'll use media to try to correct shit and cleanse the fucking minds of the fucking people, and use our influence, okay, as real hip hop motherfuckers with impeccable fucking credentials.
That's right.
To try to take this shit back and say, listen.
Like, fuck that knowledge, wisdom shit you talking about. You heard this new joint? Booty ba booty, booty ba booty, booty booty booty, booty ba booty.
See, that's what they. that's
what's
how
happening.
They want to do it. That's how.
And these are 40 plus. These are 40 plus radio personalities and DJs who are supposed to be breaking records. This is the narratives that they're driving.
Oh, breaking records. That doesn't even exist anymore. That doesn't.
Supposed
even
to
exist
be
anymore.
breaking records.
All right, so yeah, we got a quick correction. Last week we were talking about streams. You brought up
Per sale.
Yeah, per sale. And originally I had said,
You were right. I'm like, no.
I originally said it was 1,500, and then somebody said 150, and then
somebody online said 150.
Yeah,
I thought it was
my
like
man
10.
Bernard. Okay, Bernard Groveman. You were wrong.
We need somebody
sir.
fact checking the fact checkers.
Okay, yeah, exactly. You were wrong, sir. It is 1,500. We verified with the RIAA that 1,500 streams equals one album sale. Now, doesn't that seem a little excessive? Like, really?
Now, is it 1,500 of the whole album? Is it 1,500
No.
one song?
It could be one fucking song off of an album.
Okay.
So if you have 150,
I'll admit I'm clueless.
150, no, 1,500. I'm sorry, 1,500 streams. That equals one fucking album. Now I remember, like, in the contracts and shit like that, an album can technically consist of 8 songs.
8 to 10. I think what happens, you don't get paid past 10 songs, like when you're dealing with that whole publishing circle. Like, once you get past 10 songs, like, each song depreciates in value. So that 10.
What exactly?
Remember the
got the prorated and all of that type of shit.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why when people were putting like 20 something songs on the album, you're like, you're only shorting your money right now.
Right.
Like,
yeah, we had a whole different schematic.
Yeah,
we were playing.
It would see, and that's where business fucks up the artistry. You see what I'm saying? Because you might want to put 20 something songs, but now you because of after a certain amount, it's prorated, and it's getting you're dividing what's already being divided, and you're making the percentages even smaller, and you got to pay for samples, and
you don't care. You just a rap ass rapper. You want to do all this rapping on an album, and every song over 10 doesn't count.
So I'm just saying though, like, originally it was only like 8 songs could be an album. Now they're saying 1,500 streams equals one album. So, according to that, in order to go platinum, you have to have 1,500,000,000 streams.
That's a lot of streams.
That's crazy.
I feel like these kids got a lot of time though. Like, they're doing that. They're actually doing
1,500,000,000 just to go platinum.
But that's streams alone. That's streams alone. Like,
but they act like streams are so super easy. I mean,
if
granted,
not one
it's
human
harder.
being,
It's harder than getting up and going out to the record store. I get it, but whoever put that 1,500 mark, that was a little excessive. I think that's trying to put certain people out of the game.
They're like, nah, you're not gonna plaque that easy.
Shit is fucking crazy. Well, anyway, in other news, your homegirl Barbara Bush died.
In other news,
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Beyonce slayed Coachella. Did you see that?
I heard she did her thing. I saw some little clips. She brought out
Mother of Three, killing it. They're actually debating
Destiny's Child and all of that.
They're debating who's a better artist, her or Michael Jackson. I saw a whole debate.
I saw something like that
going
too.
on about that.
Now, here's the thing. Now I'm hearing, Beyonce is the first black woman headliner at Coachella. Now, the way they put that, you would think that Coachella was out since, the 1920s or some shit.
Since Woodstock.
Since the Jim Crow era or some shit like that. No. Like, way like, this shit started in 1999. Okay? So, we have to ask ourselves, why? Why is she the first black woman? If this shit is not some, started years and years ago, supposedly when racism was, had a stronghold in America, by 99, right? By 99, we would have felt that in this country, racism wouldn't be such a factor, no? But a black woman, it's her first time, really?
I think, for
something that was started in 99?
But I feel like Coachella, we wasn't. But were we really checking for Coachella like that? Like Coachella was kind of hippie-ish, It was over there with like Burning Man and them. Like we rock the bells was our thing. Like
some rave type of shit.
Like
right?
we wasn't really.
Let's go take drugs in the desert. And
we wasn't really
act like
checking
assholes.
for Coachella like that. I think really this just shows like I guess just hip hop and R&B and just black music in general is just taking over to the point where we are popping up in these things that are otherwise, like for instance Nas at with the orchestra
right.
Like
what he did Illmatic with the orchestra, right?
He did National Orchestra, Lord. Alex, where are you? The exact name of, but yeah, those guys in DC, this is like, this is things that don't happen every day. So I think hip hop is just like that force to be reckoned with nowadays, but I wouldn't look at Coachella with the side eye because we wasn't checking for y'all anyway.
Well, it's not a fact that I'm trying to look at them with a side eye, but I'm just saying they try to make such a big deal of it,
right?
As far as she's the first black woman to, and
like they shouldn't even have brought that to anybody's attention.
Well, I guess they, to me that you almost got to bring that to the attention when the institution is traditionally racist. If the institution is traditionally racist, then it's a big fucking deal when it's the first black such and such. You see, like America is traditionally racist, so it was a big deal when Obama was the first black president. So are they almost saying that Coachella is historically racist without them saying that, but they're saying it by saying she's the first black woman to do this? And now we're not that racist because look, we let Beyonce perform.
They let Beyonce perform. They let a pregnant hip hop female artist perform.
Fuck, let's talk about
Coachella
that.
just went in this year.
Now I know we've had discussions about when you were with child, you were performing.
I was.
Okay. Now, I know for a fact, though, that you weren't on stage fucking gyrating and
I still don't know how to twerk.
Trying to pop your coochie while you were 6 months pregnant. I know for a fact you weren't doing that.
I tried to get my daughter to teach me how to twerk. She won't do it. I be trying at home in front of no one.
Right, as you should. And that's the place to do it. At home in front of no one. But when you are, I don't know how many months the young lady is, but she looked big in the stomach to me. first of all, what do you feel about that as a woman who has been pregnant, who is an artist, who said, listen, the show still must go on, but like, isn't there a certain like line that maybe we don't want to cross when we're pregnant?
It's weird because I feel like Cardi is being celebrated for her ratchetness. Like, I personally never want to see. I'm bothered by a lot of things in society. I'm bothered by the overtly sexual overtones in everything, from television to, I don't even like to see little kids twerking at barbecues. Like, I hate it. Like, I personally hate all of it. I made a song over Kanye West's New Slaves called New Hoes, and I'm talking about, you know, these very same things. But it's almost like with her, you know, she is getting the pass to do these things that are traditionally like taboo, because that's what she's being celebrated for. Like, she's being celebrated for being ratchet. It's almost like, are we still gonna like her if she cleans up? Like, is she? Well,
she's already cleaned up.
I mean, she's cleaned up. I mean, but
the Cardi
you know what I mean?
B
like,
that I know from. No. Wait, what was the original shit? Not Snapchat. What was the other shit that was hot for a second? Huh? Vine. That's where she popped off at. Okay. That's where I first got introduced to Cardi.
Well, she's definitely not
and
that
when I
same
tell you,
person.
she was super ratchet at that point. I mean, she didn't give a fuck. Talk about sucking dicks and all kind of crazy shit. Like, she was out there, and that's what people loved about her, though. That she didn't give a fuck. Girls started doing like memes of her, like they started imitating her.
But I feel like that's what people love now. It's almost like, you know, if she does this complete 180, you know, is it still gonna be the same?
Well, I feel like America has like a pretty woman fantasy. You know, they like that, you know, bad girl does good, a hooker with a heart of gold, and she ends up, you know, finding her Prince Charming and cleaning herself up and now presenting herself to, you know, high society.
Everyone is loving the rags to riches story, but what's also, you know, being added to that love is the fact that she's still being true to herself all the while making this transformation. I think that is like the big part of her allure. I don't know if I want to see her twerking pregnant at 9 months. maybe well, keep it in this first or second trimester.
So what did you enjoy? Did you see what she did, and did you think that was appropriate? Would you have done that at the degree that she was at of pregnancy?
I personally would not have, but I'm a different woman. I'm cut from the 3/4 of cloth clan, so, you know, I'm different.
Good clan. I don't know. I just feel like, you know, I mean, me as a man, I don't necessarily want to see that.
It's like, I don't know. I mean, you know what? It's almost like, don't ask me. Let's ask you guys.
Unless you got some sort of, you know, pregnant woman fetish, like, I don't think that's fucking sexy. Although I do know dudes that, you know,
I feel like men
do. I know niggas that'll go after a pregnant girl. And what's so sick is I know niggas that have knocked off pregnant girls, and that's not their girl. Like, these girls are still fucking, and they pregnant. Niggas is bumping heads with babies and shit.
Hey,
what kind of shit is going on out here?
The hood is as the hood does.
Yo, that shit is ruthless to me. Like, that shit is not cool.
As a woman, I don't even know how you can, like, take another guy that's not the father of the kid you're carrying in that.
Yo, that is total disrespect. That is total disrespect.
I mean, it's messed up that
is
men
super ratchet. Don't do it.
But men will run around and sleep with 1,000 women and bring their pregnant woman back home some diseases and stuff. You're like, y'all just
not right either.
Too.
That's not
y'all
right either.
Y'all just as funky too.
That's not right either.
But yeah, that's. I think we just old, man. Did you see the Atlanta where Ern's baby mom is like, oh my God, you still use condoms? How old are you?
First of all,
like they letting us know that this generation is not about that condom safe sex life. That show was so crazy.
First of all,
the black
I feel
culture
bad. I have
depiction.
not watched Atlanta yet,
bro.
This is you're talking about.
Yes.
Glover and
yes.
I have not watched it yet.
Yes.
I didn't get a chance to watch
the first season. I feel like I was rocking with laughter. This season here, it's a little more dry humor. Like it is one of those dry humor shows, but this season is almost it's like funny not funny. Like it's funny but it's serious. Like to me it's very impactful. It is the most accurate depiction of black culture in this day and age that we ever gonna see.
Really?
Like I think what the Cosbys was for us growing up, like as far as that model black family that we want to see, like I think this is like real. This is gonna be that impactful. I think in black television, like down the line, people are gonna look back at this like, yo, that's really black people right now. That it is. Totally.
I need to check it out.
I think you should. And shouts out to Donald Glover. Childish Gambino, I'm going to call you that forever.
Well, supposedly he doesn't want to.
I know he doesn't want to be referred to as
He's a little too sophisticated. He's in Star Wars.
That name is so ill. And he got it from the Woo name generator. I forgot what my name was.
Oh, I heard that.
Yeah.
I heard that.
I had an ill name. I forgot what my name was.
That's hilarious.
Next segment, I'll think of it.
That's hilarious. So, Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick Lamar
first
received a Pulitzer Prize.
Is he the first rapper?
He is the first rapper.
We got a lot of firsts going on out here in these hip hop streets.
First of all, I'm going to be honest to you. Every time that I've ever heard of the Pulitzer Prize, it's been associated with writers. Okay? The Pulitzer Prize winning writer, author, da-da-da-da. I didn't even know they gave it for music. But apparently, they said that this particular award is usually like an afterthought or something like that. But yeah, this music prize went to Damn, Kendrick Lamar's Damn.
That's dope.
They said it was a unanimous choice of the Pulitzer music jury.
Wow.
Usually, classical and occasionally jazz compositions have won this award.
That's crazy.
Never hip hop. I mean, what do we think about this? Well, you know, why does Kendrick get this kind of love? Like. I mean, I think he's dope, but, you know, sometimes I feel like some people benefit from all the whack shit that's out here.
I was going to say, I think he's benefiting from standing apart, you know, from standing out.
Like my man Aaron Cook's got a line in one of his songs, and he said, "It's easy to look lyrical in a room full of halfway terribles." You understand? Right. And, you know,
I think that's what this generation really gets to run with. Because, I mean, hey, you know, I hate to keep sounding like the old head back in my day, but in real life.
Because you have to have something to compare it to.
Right.
So when we say back in our day, we're only saying, listen, this is the yardstick. This is the level of standard that I'm comparing this to. Okay, now,
when there were just lyricists on top of lyricists, like
if you had a Kendrick or a J. Cole in our era, I'm sorry,
I think they would have been average.
They'd have been all right.
I agree. That I agree with.
They would have been all right because there was so much other shit out there and. Oh, just the quality and you couldn't fake it. And
comparable to that and variations of that. So
and harder shit than that.
It wasn't just one person spitting, you know, preaching the gospel. There were not only were there a bunch of people preaching the gospel, you got it in different levels. You got the hardcore version, you got the X-Clan version, you got the Brand Nubian version, you got the Public Enemy version, you got the KRS version, you got so many different versions of, of that lyrical goodness. So
Nas, Jay-Z, Biggie,
right,
all of that, like
right.
And it's like, listen, I like these guys. I like what they're doing right now. We need those type of rappers. But honestly, and it's not trying to act like
I'll be
my
honest.
era was the greatest era, although a lot of people say it was. Like,
I'll be honest. I
can't help that I came up in that era. It just happened.
And however you feel about the guys, I feel like it's happening worse with the women. I feel like there are so many sex kitten female rappers that everybody's go-to is Rhapsody, as far as like, as far as conscious women with, with substance and attacking social issues and thing of that nature.
Right.
Like, I think Rhapsody is very dope. I also recognize that there are a ton of females,
Rock been doing
cut from that same cloth, spitting. Shouts out to, Lyric Jones, whom I work with regularly.
Okay.
There are so many females, cut from that same cloth, but it's like when there's so much of this other thing going on, there's so many dolls out there that, you're going to gravitate to the one who's not doing that. But people at the same time are not, I guess they're just not digging deep enough, but they're not realizing that there's a whole pool, a whole cesspool of dopeness, and it's like Kendrick is the go-to. Kendrick and Cole is the go-to for the men, and Rhapsody is the go-to for the women.
Well, that's why we here, to make knowledge born and to bring a light to certain artists and just certain information, period, that's not necessarily being discussed or, being focused on. So, let's do a little recap of a story that we touched on.
Yes.
Not too long ago that a lot of people didn't know about. I think you brought it up during Women's History Month.
It was one of my Did You Knows, and I'm so delighted.
Maybe that was your first Did You Know, yes?
Yes, it was.
Okay, well, holla at the people.
And I'm so delighted to report that this statue of renowned gynecologist J. Marion Sims has officially been taken down.
All right.
Yes.
Fuck out of here.
That's right. The Public Design Commission voted on Monday unanimously to have it relocated to Brooklyn's Greenwood Cemetery, where Sims
is buried at.
Where he's now buried, and good for him. So that statue out of here.
To me, it's like, why even relocate it? Like destroy it.
Just destroy it.
Why not destroy it?
Well, I guess because to the world, he's still considered the father of gynecology,
Although, and he's also the father of inhumane treatment to black women.
It's like when things like this happen, it's almost like, okay, we still fuck with him, but we're going to move the statue to shut y'all up. I don't know.
Well, I mean, I guess it's a small victory, a symbolic victory. We'll take it.
It won't be just on the streets of NY every day.
Now, we had somebody send us an email almost trying to give us credit for the removal of the statue.
I'll take it. Like, we're good. Y'all good. We're not that good.
In all transparency, the statue was being taken down already.
Yes.
You didn't know about the story. We might have been the first ones to bring the story to a lot of you.
But we didn't spearhead the campaign to get it taken down.
I doubt if they heard us talk about it. It was already on its way down. But the fact that it's come down,
hey, you never know.
It's very timely. It does make us look good, not for nothing.
That's right. We're on top of our shit.
But yeah, trust me, we'll take credit when credit is due. So anyway, some more shit going on. Starbucks had a little thing this week. Yes.
Yo, that was crazy.
So the two brothers were in there. just chilling, waiting for a friend.
Having a meeting, like everybody does at Starbucks. Buy a cup of coffee, sit there for 8 hours, use the Wi-Fi.
The white people that just chill in Starbucks and
Like,
use the Wi-Fi and have
all
business
day
meetings and might have had one cup of coffee
all day
and don't get accosted by the fucking staff. It's like you see it everywhere.
Did you
like
see
I've seen Starbucks with couches.
They released the 911 call. Did you hear the 911 call?
No.
Oh, of the actual manager calling the cops?
No, what's this bitch say?
She said, I need assistance. There are 2 men in here that won't buy anything and won't leave. So my question was, did she ask them to leave, or she just felt a way that they were even just sitting there? Like, I'm curious to know, did something take place even prior to her calling the cops, or were they just sitting there too long for her
I believe
comfort?
their presence
It's just their presence.
is what took place.
No, because for her to say they won't buy anything and they won't leave, it's like, did you have a conversation with them and they refused to buy something, or you just felt a way about them just sitting there? Well, I guess by all accounts, they didn't have any interaction with anybody, and.
I mean,
But it's crazy that she said that. Wait till you got to hear the call. It's crazy.
Sorry, how may I help you? Hi, I have 2 gentlemen at my cafe that are refusing to make a purchase or leave. I'm at the Starbucks at 18th and Spruce. All right, please, I'll be on as soon as possible. Thank you.
It's just, but again, it's like, I mean, I've experienced shit like this since I was a child. As far as just the double standard where we as black people always say, well, if it was a white person, they would have did this. Like, that continues to be the case. If it was a white person, they would have just let the motherfuckers sit
Would have just
there.
paid
like,
them dust.
Paid them
Hold up. Let me tell you what was even more amazing. What was even more amazing than these brothers getting escorted out in handcuffs? The white people that were in the background, like, what they do? What they do? Like, the way the courage that these white people have to buck up at the cops with no afterthought or nothing. Like, he was on the cop back. Like, I feel like the cop had to turn around and face him and say, like, yo, back up. Like, he was on his neck. Like, yo, what did they do? That's wrong. It's bias. I've been here the whole time. Like,
I just saw a video of
get him, white guy.
I saw a video just today of a white boy squaring up with the police and all of that, fighting them, fucking tripped them.
Was that the one with the taser? Was that where he was trying to taser the guy? Because I saw something like that too.
I just saw something today. And
the cop was backing up and running from him, right?
Well, they looked like they was getting ready to square up, and then fucking they started throwing blows, and then the regular white boy hit the police, and then he tripped the police, threw him down to the ground.
Amazing.
But then the other police got on the white boy, but nobody shot him. Everything was fine. He didn't die. You understand what I'm saying? If that would have been a black man, just putting his hands up like this probably would have got him shot.
Oh, what? You got in the gun. We saw something in your hand.
So,
but
what I'm saying
they
is,
touched on that. But see, that's what that scene in Get Out was. And shouts out to Jordan Peele for that, because remember the scene where they're on their way to the family house,
right,
and they get pulled over, and the cop asks the black guy, where's your ID? And his white girlfriend is the one driving. Like, what are you asking for his ID for? I'm the one driving. Like, that scene is in there to show that, like, that is really what happens in those instances. Like, they have no fear of clapping back at police.
Now, what I must say is, I don't know, I saw somebody else comment on this, and they were right. Like, the dudes, the fact that they didn't wild out, they're gonna be good money.
Oh yeah.
Like,
yeah.
If they would have wild out, what the fuck? That would have just been, more.
That would have reinforced.
Yeah. Like, well, why? This is why we kicking you out, because you acting like this. You acting like an unruly
they
nigga.
Sat there calm, quiet.
This is why they probably gonna get some paper.
We're having a meeting.
Now you're gonna get some paper.
Okay.
All right. I'm gonna quietly.
But it was good that they did that, because it could have went you know, we know time and time again,
it could have
went south real fast. And they were ready. They were moving before they even decided they were going to take him out. They were already moving chairs and tables out the way. Did you peep that? Like the whole time they were having the conversation.
Because they probably thought it was going to get.
They were moving the chairs and the tables out the way, waiting for the backup to come. Like, it didn't take 5 of y'all. You had to move everything out the way. You had to give yourself space. They sitting there just.
And see,
we just waiting for a friend. Yo, bro, we'll probably be in jail by the time you get here. I don't know if you're still caught in traffic. Like, they was just as chill as they wanted to be.
I'm the type of motherfucker that would have been like, why the fuck you ain't asking her what the fuck she buying? You understand?
I could only imagine.
Like, why you up here on me? You know what I mean? Like, and then they would have had one of these white people would have had their phone.
It would have just went left.
Oh, he was very
rapper Lord Jamar.
He was very combative. He was very belligerent to the woman. That's because the bitch tried to fucking tell me to fucking buy some shit and ask nobody else to buy no shit.
I can hear you getting hauled.
Motherfucker.
Could you just imagine him getting hauled away in the cop car? Now you just hear the voice getting faint as it pulls off. Cause the black man,
that motherfucking bitch,
the black man
is gone. Thanks to the God. Thanks to the God. Oh man.
Hold it down.
Well, I heard brother T.I. Okay, first of all, shout out to T.I. because it seems like recently he's been getting into a lot of like just political conscious shit.
Yeah.
You know?
Did you see his episode? He's part of the Rapture series on Netflix. His whole episode is based on speaking with different, you know, historical figures in the Black Power movement. Like, it's like, this is me as him as a rapper is actually like a small thing in comparison to just where he's at now mentally and just connecting with, you know, the Black Power movement and just being black. Like, it's
T.I., we need you on the Godcast.
I would love to have him.
Jason Jeter. Could you please get your man here on the Godcast, please? Yeah, shout out to T.I.
And it's dope to see the Trap King, you know.
And it's all about, that's what I'm saying. He's
that.
using his influence.
That's
what are
right.
Looking like? He's using his influence in order to strive to make change.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? He's like, yo, if you fuck with me, well, this is what I'm on. If you fuck with me, I'm not fucking with Starbucks. So make your choice. But I'm not fucking with them. If you want to be like me, don't fuck with Starbucks. If you don't care, then do what you want to do.
McDonald's coffee tastes better anyway.
I was just gonna say I fuck with Dunkin' Donuts.
I put that on Twitter. I was like, are we boycotting Starbucks or not?
I fuck with
personally,
Dunkin' Donuts.
That dollar coffee at McDonald's is the truth.
Listen, that fucking Starbucks is quite overpriced. I mean, it's overrated.
Even though they got a killer white chocolate mocha, fuck them too.
I used to fuck with the caramel macchiato, but you know.
Coffee Bean, shouts out to Coffee Bean out west.
Y'all right now.
They're killing it anyway.
Oh, so anyway, this is what I wanted to talk about. So I'm supposed to be on a cleanse. Right? I'm supposed to be on a cleanse, but I've been a little reluctant to get it started. Now, shout out
all that fried food at Five Spot.
Shout out to the sister Herb Alchemist, who we actually might have a guest up here.
That would be so dope.
Next week. She's like a fucking, you know, a herb doctor, and you know, she's a conscious sister, and a lot of people know her in the conscious community. Dope. And she's trying to, you know, sit my ass down and get me to do this 7-day cleanse.
That's dope.
And we were supposed to do it last week.
I'll do it with you.
Let's
make it a pack. Let's do it together.
Maybe we should do that.
Team.
Okay, maybe we should.
Yay, team.
Yeah, let's, because I don't know. I just kind of needed that motivation. I need to mentally prepare. Like, And I just feel like you always have some shit going on, and
it's like damn, such a Super Bowl party about to come up. The playoff
start
party
at the top of the week, and then if you miss that, you feel like. So listen, Herb Alchemist, I'm not fronting on you. Trust me, we're gonna do this cleanse.
Please bring some for me.
We'll pull Rah Digga into it. Well, what she has to do is she has to get on the phone with you and you do a little consultation
medical
with her.
Profile.
Or she just asks you little shit. You know, how much water do you drink a day? And little habits and alcohol and all that type of shit. So
that's dope. I'm definitely down. I suffer with fibroids.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So that was actually gonna be that was the motivation behind me wanting to do a cleanse, because I'm hearing things about cleanses and kind of countering some of the debilitating effects of fibroids, because I suffer badly from them.
Okay.
Yeah.
I need to educate myself.
A lot of black women plagued with fibroids. We'll talk about that one of these shows.
Absolutely.
I know there's a lot of sisters out there that's dealing with it too.
Well, this is why I wanted to bring a sister like Herb Alchemist up here, to just, because health is very important.
Health is wealth.
Health is wealth.
That's right.
And we need to get into that preventative health time. We need to get into that preventative health instead of wait until some bad shit happens and then trying to catch up to that shit and mop up some shit. Let's just make sure we good so we don't get to that point.
That's right.
So that's what things like a cleanse and all that will aid. And shit, we're at that age where we have to make sure that we're definitely focusing on,
That's right. I want to be
focusing on the
I want to be nice and healthy enough to play with my grandbabies. My daughter ain't trying to have no kids no time soon, though.
Okay.
I'm actually gonna be the age that grandparents normally,
Back in the days,
they were like 60s, right? That's when you became a grandparent once upon a time.
Now they
in their
33.
30s. Yeah.
33 is a grandma.
I got a cousin who was a grandmother by 33. They don't even want to be called grandma. Call G-ma. I'm Glam-ma. I'm Gigi.
And what's so crazy is grandma still might have a baby.
Right. Psst, talk about it.
Now the baby, the grandma baby younger than
your great aunt,
the grandchild.
Is the same age as you.
What? There's so many ghetto configurations. I don't even want to get into it because I got some shit. We gotta make a list. Oh, I got some shit in my family. You don't even want to.
We're gonna make a list of hood shit gone wrong.
Hood shit gone wrong.
We should actually have a segment called "Hood Shit Gone Wrong."
Listen, oh my goodness, I'm not even gonna get into some of the hood shit.
Oh, but wait, what'd you call? I think I like your term better. Hood configurations.
Different hood configurations.
The hood configuration segment
of families. God damn it!
If you got an aunt or uncle that's younger than you,
like babies, like you might have exactly.
You got an
uncle that's a baby,
that's a fucking infant,
and you 22. Something wrong out this motherfucker. Something is wrong.
You have succumbed to the hood, to the different
hood configuration. Welcome to the hood configuration.
Oh my goodness. We're gonna make a list of hood configuration commandments.
So real quick, I wanted to do a did you know, right? Okay. Since we just passed 420 just passed, right? Now 420 has become the official weed smokers holiday, right? Supposedly it started a couple of kids out in California would get up every day after school at 420 and they'd get high, and this became 420, I guess, became a code amongst them for getting high. And later on, when certain weed shit came, certain weed festivals, that time 420 turned into the date 420, and people now start celebrating 420 as some weed celebration.
Now it's just a holiday-ass holiday.
Right. But did you know that 420 is also Adolf Hitler's birthday.
Really?
Wah, wah, wah.
Wow, I didn't even know that.
420 is Adolf Hitler's birthday. Now, for those of us that are aware of certain occult practices and how they like to garner energy unbeknownst to the people, you see, they'll have you celebrate some shit and like use that energy for their negative fucking rituals. So this energy is in the air. You're celebrating some shit, whether it's Christmas or Halloween or whatever the fuck the holiday may be. They'll use that energy for their fucking sick little rituals
For
that
their
they're
fucking
doing.
fuck.
For their fuck.
For their fucked up fuckery fuck.
Basically. So what I'm saying is, they have you out here thinking that you celebrating some weed holiday when really that energy, they're using it to focus around motherfucking Adolf Hitler.
We're celebrating Hitler's birthday in real life.
We're celebrating.
We are putting one in the air for
Unbeknownst
Hitler.
to many of us, we are putting one in the air for Adolf motherfucking Hitler. Okay? Who many of us agree was a very wicked man. You know, I'm sure there's plenty of Jewish people out here on 420 lighting one up.
Wow.
So y'all motherfuckers.
No, but you know what? They probably know what time it is.
Do they? Like some of them. You see what I'm saying? There's I feel like there's 5%ers, 10%ers.
Maybe the young ones.
And 85%ers in all different facets of life. You see, though, there's those that know and is trying to put people on to some shit. Then there's those that know, but they don't want to put you on because it's to their benefit to not let you know. And there's those that have no clue. And I feel like that's within shit. You have within Christians, Jews,
I just
Muslims.
feel like the Jewish community are refusing to let anybody forget the Holocaust and the atrocities that happened to them. Like I feel like we probably get more complacent as far as being forgiven and kind of like letting things slide. I feel like
for them, it's like never forget. For black people, it's like get over that shit, niggas.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
But that's what I mean.
Yeah, 9/11, never forget. Black people, listen, slavery was been over. How much you gonna fucking keep talking about that?
Right.
Like,
that's what I mean. I don't mean us complacent. I mean, I just feel like with, you know.
Well, we can have a whole show that goes into the fact that, you know, when you talk about physics and you talk about force and mass and all of that type of shit, like, how do you stop the force of something in physics? Do you know the equation? I believe it's something like something of an equal or opposite force, right? Mm-hmm. Must oppose the momentum of the force in order for that to stop, right? So
I'm a physics major having a total brain fart right now, but I know exactly what you're talking about.
So the force of racism and white insanity, and I refuse to call
that is actually inertia.
There you go, inertia.
I'm like, yeah, it was coming to me.
So the inertia of white insanity, and it is not white supremacy because they're not supreme. The inertia of white insanity. What has ever came to stop it? Like, what has been the force, the equal or greater force, to come against white insanity to stop it from perpetually going? The answer is nothing.
I'm like,
That's why it continues to go. That's why it continues to move right on ahead, because it has inertia. And until we come with something of equal or stronger force to oppose it, it'll never stop. And on that note, I think we've come to another.
I'm like, wow, anybody on IG? Anybody?
Nah, we're not even going to do that today. Next week we'll get back online. We'll hit you with a book recommendation.
And we got to talk about some music. We definitely.
Yeah, listen, we might even have to play some music. We might even have to fucking rhyme.
We're gonna.
Okay. You got some bars?
Hey, bro.
You got some bars?
I do what I do.
I got some bars. You got some bars?
I got bars. You got bars.
I got bars.
Are we battling?
I mean,
challenge.
Battling, but
I'm like, hey, we battling. What
I don't know if we battling,
what are we
but we
talking
can,
about
we
here?
We could do a duet.
Okay.
Let's do a duet.
He's scared, y'all. He don't want to smoke.
Oh shit! You know what? We might have.
Rah Digga calls Lord Jamar out
we
part
might have.
2.
Oh shit! Yo, man, always a fucking pleasure.
Pleasure's mine, man.
Hey, until next week, for the Yanadameen Godcast, I'm Lord Jamar.
And I'm Rah Digga.
Peace. Peace. It's the absence of all confusion. United we stand, divided we fall. 2 fingers together is the real peace sign, y'all. Brand Nubian peace gear. Hoodies. T-shirts. Snapbacks. Available at hoodcheap.com. Get yours today.